Hello and welcome. It is All for United. We are back again. We are on the drive to, not literally the drive, but the drive to the Luton game, which we are all very much looking forward to. But of course, it's one of those midweeks where not a lot is happening. So we are throwing out once more the Thursday throwback, that wonderful little topic show that Vicky herself decided would be a good idea to throw in all the way back a few weeks ago, and we've done a few of them now. So well played for that, Vicky. How are you down there, Vicky? You all right? She's muted, so we can't hear her. 1 second. Let me just pick that. There we go. You were saying?
Sorry. Yeah. I've been out for the day. My neighbours took me hostage and took me for cocktails and things like that. So that was fun.
Sounds like a fun day to me. If someone's going to take me hostage, that's what I prefer. Cocktails.
It was in Cambridge.
The blindfolds and being shoved in the back of the car. So I'll go for that every day of the week. Good stuff. And over there in the corner, we have got Mr. Stu Willie. How are you doing, sir?
All good. Had a kickabout earlier on this evening, so yeah, not too bad. So looking forward to this.
Foot doing better, obviously.
It's much better actually. Well, I can walk on it, which is good. So yeah, it's still a bit bruised, but it's all right.
What did you do? Wait, what? I missed this. What did you do?
I took one on the ankle 5 times during 90 minutes. It just kept standing on it.
Yeah.
Where it ended up swollen up like a golf ball, blue.
Oh.
But to be honest,
those ones are.
I was contemplating playing on it the following weekend, but I got told off by somebody not to. I can't remember who that might be. She may be looking ruefully at me. She told me off not to, so I didn't.
That's a wise decision, mate.
Yeah, but I'm an idiot though, Bainesy, as you well know, and it's just one of those things. So, but no, I'm good actually. I'm all right now. So
good.
We've got a game. We've got a game Saturday, so we're looking forward to it.
Good, and we are hopefully to do well in that one. And of course, just next to me there, we have got Bainesy, fresh from his world cruise, enjoying all the fun and games that you can have on a big old boat. How you feeling now that you're back on dry land, Skipper?
Yeah, all right. It's a bit cold, but it was. I was actually on a stag do as one of my best mates' stags. Nice. So yeah, it was eventful. I'm tired, as you are, and I'm getting old now, so I can't do these 7-night benders anymore. So we're all good. We will come back with the lurgy, but it was good fun, very good fun.
Smashing. Well, that's what we like to hear. Well, it is topic time, and we've got 2 that are sort of quite good at following on from each other, and then 2 that are just completely wacky and zany and not so much to do with United specifically on their own. So we're going to kick off with those. We will say hello there to Mr. Andrew Wall, sat in the comments. Nice to see you there, sir. Bainesy, I think we're going to throw to your one first, because yours is quite an interesting little teaser, and then it might morph quite nicely into Vicky's one. So Bainesy, throw straight in with you, sir. What is your topic?
So I find this part of the football really interesting, right? I love the background of it. I like structured. I like the financial part of football. So obviously we've seen all in the news this week about Ineos, their approval of 25%, of course, by the Premier League and the FA. And recent news has just come out that Dan Ashworth is their top man. We're going to approach Newcastle sooner or later over the weekend. And my question, and feel free to jump in the comments, is what should be the first thing that, if Dan Ashworth is the guy and he comes in, what should he do first? Now, I think this actually goes quite well into Vicky's topic, which is about the manager. And I was actually going to comment and say, I think he needs to nail down the manager spot. It needs to be, I think that's probably one of the first things he needs to do. Understand whether Erik ten Hag is the guy to go forward. And I'm sure we'll discuss that in a bit. But once you know that, then you can, I suppose you could put in a proper plan and a structure. The recruitment, obviously, we could talk for days about how bad the recruitment is and how much money we've spent. We've seen the BBC article which states like we've got the most expensive squad in the league now. So yes, recruitment and who does he bring in? So for me personally, I think the first thing he needs to do, sit down with Dave Brailsford if he hasn't done already, and then to hash it out and go, right, is Ten Hag the right man? And if he is, sit down with him and go, right, this is what we're going to do. What do you need? And essentially go to Jim Ratcliffe and go, right, we need, this is the plan. And you need to give me the tools to go out and execute said plan. But yeah, I love to hear everyone's comments about it, about Dan Ashworth. Sorry, I was reading a comment about if anyone's owned 25%, who owns the rest. The rest is the Glazers, and then I think is it 31% is floated on the New York Stock Exchange. 25%. 25% Jim Ratcliffe. Oh my god, my maths. 44% is the Glazers, and the 31% remaining is on the stock exchange. So yeah, that's awesome. But yeah,
Up to 100. So quick maths there, Bainesy. Well played, sir.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Storms, you've been proud. Stu, what do you reckon? I think I want to hear what you got to say on this one first, because you're the front
what
of
would
all,
I do? I'd go off book, definitely. So if I'm Dan Ashworth now, I'll be wanting as much information as I can during the negotiation process between Man United and Newcastle, so that I could then make recommendations immediately without having to go in, do my due diligence over 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks, speak to the various parties. I'd like to know who's in what position, how long they've been there, what's the track record within the club, and then I can start making an assessment based on that information. You need to do that now, not when he's allowed to sign on the dotted line and then join the club. I would imagine Braid has done something very, very similar. He's done all his due diligence, knows what he's walking into in day one. Dan Ashworth appears to be that type of mindset of a man who would want to do something similar. And that's what I would do. I kind of leave Ten Hag a little bit to the end, only because I think at the moment you're not going to move anything between now and June, July anyway. So it's the internal structure in and around him, the failure of the internal structure in and around him, that Ashworth's got to look at. He's got to make a decision what he does, who he moves out. He needs to move them quickly as well. So he needs to put a list of people who needs to go. We need to cancel the contracts, pay them off and move them out quickly, so that when he comes in, Brailsford's got a list of appointments that he needs to make, and he needs to have that all sorted between now and the end of May. That's what you need to do, because say for example we do get to the FA Cup final, the lads are going to go off on holidays. It's all going to start for Manchester United today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, in terms of how they're going to rebuild the business. Look, people are calling Brailsford Dodgy Dave, etc., etc., etc. He's a very, very shrewd operator, probably shrewder than Barada. The way that he goes about, he hugs the line. There's no two ways about it, of crossing between illegality and legality. But they all do that in cycling anyway. If you know anything about cycling, you know your history of cycling. They've been doping since the 60s. I mean, it's nothing new. Honestly, it's nothing new. Dr. Ferrari in the 80s and 90s under Armstrong, he was the real catalyst of it. He was the brainchild of it. But they've been doing various doping since, the 60s, 70s. To ride the Tour de France over 3 weeks is a clinical killer. It really is. You've got to have some kind of enhancement to help you. Anyway, half the field, probably 90% of the field was doing it. To get anywhere in cycling, you had to do it. And there's been aspects of that in Liverpool, aspects of it in Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Guardiola, that type of thing. So it happens in all sports. But he's a very astute businessman, and he knows exactly what he's doing, and he knows how to get the best in class. Very, very good with his psychology, knows how to speak to people, knows how to convince people. So Ashworth coming in, I wouldn't be surprised if he's already got the books and already got the information he requires, because he's made up his mind, he's coming. And he said to Brailsford, go and sort it out with Newcastle now. I'm your man. get me released, go and sort it out. But I need this in the meantime, because when I walk through that door, 1st of June, 1st of July, 1st of August, whenever it is, I want these people in place. I want this structure in place. And until I'm allowed to go in there, I want this, and this done. So he will set a variety of goals, stages and steps. So when he does walk through the door, that's in place ready for him. He's a very, very... look, I didn't know a lot about Dan Ashworth. I've done a little bit of reading about him like everybody else. Everybody points to his work at Brighton. A lot of people are pointing to his work at the FA as well, which is obviously very, very good. He's clearly hamstrung at Newcastle. So I think it'll be interesting. Great appointment. Jason Wilcox is a bit out left field for me. I didn't see that one coming at all. If it's somebody that Barada and somebody that Dan Ashworth would like. But it's... It's almost a real giant snake's head is Ashworth. It really is. He's got that bite, that ferocious bite, which will upset and scare a lot of the Premier League, I think. So great appointment. If we get him over the line, I think it's just a matter of days. I think we'll have an announcement. And I think, very, very pleased. Very, very pleased.
Fair enough points. Vicky, I'm intrigued about what your thoughts are about the whole direction of football situation and the thoughts of getting Dan Ashworth if he does come in.
Well, how do you guys feel about how we're poaching Dan Ashworth? Do you think it's good? Do you think? Yeah.
I think to be honest, with a role like that, you have to employ best in class. And unfortunately, with that, the best in class are hired by other football clubs. So you kind of have to poach, and it's much similar to how you do with players, don't you? You have to poke the agent's player and go be like, look, is he, could he move? And then from then on, you get the inkling that he could. You go and agree it with the clubs, blah blah blah. So yeah, history tells us that when Abramovich came in with Chelsea, he did the same thing. He looked over the whole league, even some parts of Europe, to get the best in class, and look what they did. City have done the same thing. Liverpool over the years have done the same thing. So yeah, to be successful, I think, obviously it requires a lot of money, but at the same time, you need to poach and get the best in class. If obviously you want to be the best. So yeah, I wouldn't look into it too much. I think Dan Ashworth does 2-3 years at each club, and then he tends to move on. So he could do the same with United.
For me, it's the statement we've set out. The fact that we've gone to
absolutely
taken one of their top people. Now we're going to Newcastle, who are doing better than us at the moment, and we're taking one of their people as well. I like it. I like the way in which
we. Is it Julian? Who's at Liverpool head of recruitment? Is it Julian Ward? I think that there was some article. I forgot who it was by. To be honest, I think it was Daily Mail. So let's not talk about it too much. But Julian Ward at Liverpool, head of negotiations, I think. Top dollar again, really, really good at what he does, and apparently he was tipped to join Dan Ashworth, and then you got the guy at Brighton, and then obviously Jason Wilcox. Is it Wilson or Wilcox?
Wilcox.
Jason Wilcox is another guy. So yeah, there's definitely. I think with Dan Ashworth, he brings in a bubble, doesn't he? He likes to work within a team that he's familiar with.
Wilcox was at City, wasn't he?
He was
to go under Barada.
Yeah. So under Barada, yeah.
Yeah, Barada appointment. Left Pegger, if my memory serves me right, for Blackburn. That was his.
I can't remember that.
Yeah, left Pegger. Yeah, decent in his day. I think he won the Premier League actually. Jason Wilcox. I think he won the Premier League.
Had his sticker in the old Panini sticker albums. But yeah, Vic, so go on then, carry on. What were you thinking after getting our little thoughts on that?
That I can't help but get so excited about what's going to happen, because let's face it, it's been a few years now of just absolute. But I actually did enjoy last season, so yeah. I'm just looking forward to just seeing. I think in my head, right, I think Illy must go with Eric Ten Hag, right, and they keep him because. Basically, why would you want to change something that's already going to try and get in place? It wouldn't make sense. Eric Ten Hag, he's been linked with so many good teams. He was once linked with Newcastle and Spurs, which were the two bad teams, but he was going to take the Holland job before, was really offered the Holland job, which he actually said, no, I don't want to do it because I know 80% of the players, and he wanted to learn something new. And then obviously he was just before he was offered the Barca, talked about having negotiations with Barcelona. So, that would have been horrible. So the one thing I do feel is if this is going to happen, they're going to keep Erik ten Hag, keep the formation. I do see more elements of that style of play that he wanted, which isn't the one that we thought he was going to bring. Is there when that team is fit? So it's just more about putting more structure into the club to make sure that Erik ten Hag and the players can do what they're meant to do. So that's my thing regarding of Erik ten Hag's job is safe.
I think you're right. Vic.
I'm glad you said it, actually, because that's exactly what I've written down here. Is that you're saying what's the first job that I want a director of football to do? I want them to do what we haven't done for a while, and that's have the transfers sorted. I don't want to still be waiting there as we get towards the end of deadline day, wondering who's going to come in, is Martial going to go? I want it all done. I want it sorted. I want them to have had that structure in place where the ones that we don't want are gone. We haven't got this argument as to, Scott McTominay and Harry Maguire off to West Ham, all that sort of jazz. I just want us done. The ones that are going to go, get rid. The ones that are going to come in, get them in. Have them identified. Know who it is that we want in the club. And I think the best way to do that, as you said, is to keep Erik ten Hag for the season. Give him that season. Say, look, as far as we're concerned, blank slate. You're the manager of this football club. Tell us who you want to get rid of. Tell us who you want in. We'll do what we can to make that happen. Giving that support.
The thing is, though, Baz, is you moved Erik ten Hag outright. Then all people want is these buzzword managers. We're going to get De Zerbi, shall we? Why?
No.
Why? We'll go and do this. Why? We'll get Alonso. Why? He's had one good season at Leverkusen. You know what I mean? And so who out there, realistically, is there that's maybe going to be any better or worse than Ten Hag? Nobody. There just isn't. You've got to give the guy time under a new regime. You've got to give him time to formulate what he wants to do. When you're working with a mismatch, underachieving management team who don't really know what they're doing, it's virtually impossible to garner any kind of favour with anybody because your results are always going to be hit and miss. It's just like an oscilloscope. That's what happens in football. Longevity is the best way and the only way to make it a winnable and viable environment. So, as far as I'm concerned, that should be the one.
Absolutely, I think I agree.
Hello.
Oh,
Somebody
was going to go to Vicky just there, but as she's sorting stuff out at the moment, we'll just pop over quickly to Bainesy. Just to sort of finish off your own topic, really. So, does this go along with what you're thinking as to what?
Absolutely. Vicky and Stu and yourself, Barry, but you've hit the nail on the head. I think it's hard, and this could sound controversial, but I think now we've seen, and in hindsight's a wonderful thing, but we've seen now how well Jose Mourinho did, and how well Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did, and how well Louis van Gaal did with the structure that they had. It was non-existent. It was absolutely non-existent. They weren't working with football people. They were working with essentially bankers and commercial people that wanted to bring in the big money signing and said to the coaches, all right, you're the coach, go and coach them then, kind of thing. And that's not how football works. What is... See, I'm sitting on the fence with Erik ten Hag. I'm very much on the get rid of him and maybe start afresh. But then at the same time, I'm like, he deserves, I think he's got enough credit in the bank just to say, no, give me a chance under a new structure, under a footballing structure, there's been I think there was a comment about will he have a say in the transfers. At the moment, I think he has a say. He has a veto on the transfers, but a coach should never have a veto on the transfers. For me, it should be the footballing people above him that go, look, we've got a vast scouting network all over Europe, all over the world. You know, we're thinking of these players. This is the style that you play. We think it's going to work. Yes, of course, a manager should have a say. And if he thinks, you know, he's going to tap up some agents or whoever he works with and go, look, give me a player profile, of course. But then when you think about all the top players, Doku was not a Pep signing. It was a City hierarchy signing. Mohamed Salah was not a Klopp signing. I think he. Who did he want? Klopp wanted someone else.
Yeah,
I forgot who it was.
Yeah, me too.
And the Liverpool hierarchy turned around and said, "Actually, no, Mo Salah's actually your guy." And look what Mo Salah's gone and done for Klopp and Liverpool and the rest of the league, right? So yeah, for me, you need to have a fine balance. Will he have say in transfers? Probably a little bit. He will have a little say, like all coaches do, but it should be the football instructor. I do like Ten Hag. I think what he did last season was great. Third with a trophy, FA Cup final. Of course, you know we lost that to City and they did the treble. Well, let's just ignore that. But I think he's got just about got enough credit in the bank. And if we could still finish the season quite strong, to be fair, we could still get fourth. We could still get Champions League football, and we might be out. We're still in the FA Cup, so we could still get something out of the season. If results slip and if they keep slipping, then I think there needs to be an uncomfortable conversation if Dan Ashworth is in with Barada. Maybe there's an uncomfortable conversation there. But Ineos, I think the way they're moving right now, I think they've already lined up the next manager. If they want to sack Eric Ten Hag, I wouldn't put it past them to say, right, he's going to be the next guy. So yeah, but again, like Stu said, really, who is there? There isn't a lot of names out there. So that's
I can understand where you're coming from on that, Bainesy, about where you are with him being on the fence. The difference is I can't accept it off 50% of fans because they don't get football, they don't get it. You've got to get football knowledge, so I get that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah.
And but you listen to some fans, always got to go, why? Well, we lost 3 in the balance. Oh, fuck off. No,
I don't agree with any of that. Yeah.
It's all about the continuance. And I think you're right. I think they've probably sounded out 2 or 3 managers. They've got to. If you want to run a business properly, you have to. I just think, well, he's got to stick. We've got to stick with him anyway until the summer. And I think you may as well stick again and not twist just yet. Let him work under a structure, because when he worked under a structure at Ajax,
he was brilliant.
Yeah, we also would have produced.
Yeah,
he's come to a dysfunctional family at Manchester United. Let's see what happens under a proper structure again. And I think you and Vicky are both right about how you're talking to it. About what he could do with almost a flat line. Rather than all this oscilloscope rubbish, just have a flat line for a season. And to be honest, Baines, if we finish 10th next season and then really started recruiting, that everybody's bedded in, so I'd be all right with that, mate, to be honest.
You reckon?
But that's football, though. That's understanding football. There are too many people out there that won't. It's unacceptable to Manchester United finishing 10th. That is completely.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go with it. Yeah,
it isn't unacceptable because you've got to go on to it.
It's okay for Spurs to be Spurs, but not under like the Redknapp ages, or it's okay for every single football team doesn't get this era, and that was back in that era. That was the Roman era. This is a different era, and you're like, well, the Alex Ferguson one was so many years ago, but still having to compare, they've got to be just like they were.
Yeah. And I think it is okay to finish 10th, but the next year though, Bainesy, you've got to flip it back to 4th and 3rd. Yeah. You've got to have that structure, and I think they can do. And Vicky's absolutely right. Why is it all right for Spurs, Liverpool, at times, Chelsea and all these other clubs, to be able to finish 8th to 10th, to rebuild. Why is it all right for them? But for Manchester United, it's completely unacceptable. People would even give City, they're cheating bastards anyway, aren't they? So that's probably the wrong. But they gave Arsenal fans gave Arteta, he finished, what, 8th? So 8th, something like that, 9th, they gave him that time. And look at him.
They only won a FA Cup.
That's right, yeah. And look what Arteta's managed to achieve with stability. I mean, who'd have thought Edu would be a great director of football? He could hardly get
he's done wonders for him, though, to be fair.
He's done absolutely wonders. Yeah. But they've got stability. And NT mentioned, Eric Ten Hag, as Vic said, he had Overmars and Van der Sar.
Van der Sar,
stability. So if we can give him that stability, and as I say, if we do finish maybe 10th next season, I think there's a real chance. Innocent to you could say that, innocent till proven guilty. 115 charges. There's no innocence there, mate. Is there? Come on, even you, if you've got blue tinted glasses on, will realise there's no innocence. I understand. I know you're coming a lot, Simon, but no, sorry, mate.
This is the point I was going to make, Stu. I think the thing is with United, I think
that's true. Yeah.
There's an expectation that United should never be finishing 8th or 10th. I know I completely get what you're saying, but I think now especially the last 20 odd years, 25 years, probably actually more than that, 30 years now, the expectation of Man United, it should be 1st or 2nd. That is how people have been brought up with it. That's how people see Man United. And even now, in the league, you speak to any fan all over the country, Man United are the biggest club in England, closely followed by Liverpool, I hate to admit. But Man United are the biggest club in England, and they should be at the very top all the time. And that just goes to show how bad, the ownership is and has been. And it's very refreshing to see what Ineos are doing behind the scenes, and they're bringing in their people. But
it's brilliant.
We've got to rebuild. No, I agree with you. I think
see that movement.
You have to. Yeah, I completely agree. You have to. It's that bad now. You have to rip everything apart and start again. And if that means that United finish 8th, 9th, or 10th, but then the following season you follow it up with all the hard work that you've done behind the scenes, then fair enough. It needs to happen. That's how bad it's really got. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I do. But I think everyone expects United to be up there. That's why they don't sort of give us the slack, if you know what I mean.
It will be interesting because now Klopp's going, and I think most of his staff are going.
Yeah.
That there's no vision. And next season it was like, well, Liverpool can't do that. They'll go back down to be, we'll see where they go, but I think they're going to be in the right puddle.
I think you're right.
I hope so.
Liverpool have got a massive issue, haven't they? It isn't only Klopp. Most of the staff are going. Obviously, they're all going to take a year out and they'll pop up in, Barcelona or, German national team, etc.
Yeah, they'll have jobs.
That's going to happen. They'll have jobs. There's the interesting thing. Who's coming onto the market? Klopp isn't. We know that. Liverpool fans are crying out for Xabi Alonso. Hey, great, he's done well for it. 12 months, hasn't he? At Leverkusen. That's all right. Brilliant. Congratulations. But what you need to do 2 or 3 years at Leverkusen to prove your worth, to show everybody that you can manage. There's no point, jumping ship. Guardiola, what does he do? It'd be interesting to see what happens with Guardiola. Does Arteta go into City because Guardiola's fucked off back to Barcelona? Who knows what's going to happen? But I think the stability, we will actually be the stable club. Vicky made a point about Sir Alex Ferguson days, but he had David Gill up there, didn't he, as his right man, and Peter Kenyon, 2 absolute talents of how to run a business, how to run a football club. And, Kenyon was poached, actually, if you remember, by Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
So David Gill stepped in and look where we are. It's all about stability. And if we can keep that stability, we can keep that, what they've started today, and we can keep that going for the next 3, 4, 5 years of real growth. Bainesy, who knows where we'll be? Seriously, who knows?
It will. Yeah, and you mentioned David Gill, and it's the same. You know, when I have so many friends of mine who don't support United, and they ask, so well, Glazers came in 2005, and up until 2013, you were absolutely fine. And then, you know, countless times I've said David Gill was at the club at this time, and he was the one that came in and he shielded the Glazers. I wouldn't say protect is the right word, but he shielded the Glazers in a sense that he was the football guy. And yes, don't forget, we sold Cristiano Ronaldo, and the replacement was a free Mark Owen. Yeah. And this is the type of thing that David Gill was doing. He was protecting the Glazers.
He did.
The money weren't coming in transfer. I think the biggest signing that we did after that was Van Persie, which was 25 million or something. Wasn't it?
Yeah, he got him 20 and 26,
something like that, wasn't it? But that was the biggest signing we made under Gill, I believe, after Ronaldo. So yeah, you know, he protected them. He shielded their inept ability, and then obviously David Gill left with Fergie, and then obviously, you know, we all know what happened after that with Woodward and all of that. But yeah, it's very, very important, and I'm glad now the Glazers don't have control of that football side, and Ineos are coming in and putting in their men. It's very, very refreshing to see, and also they're working extremely quickly and very quietly, which again is just so refreshing to see that you can. I think I heard the news this morning or yesterday. I was driving most of the day yesterday about Dan Ashworth. I got home and then all of a sudden there was more news about, it's concrete and we're going after Jason Wilcox. And I'm thinking, bloody hell, it's only been a few hours and there's more news that are coming out of nowhere. So yeah, it's very good to see, very refreshing to see.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, Bainesy. I'm still sat here in just absolute awe at the fact that you just happily said that no manager should have a veto over the players that play for their team. I was just
no.
I'm thinking back to all the times I played Football Manager. If the board ever told me I had to have a player, I think I'd have left. There's no way.
No. Look, they do. No. You do have a veto. Of course you do. No, you do have a veto. But I think the structure above you needs to do their homework, and then they put forward players and go, look, these are the players we think, we know are going to be very successful. Pick, and then you go out and you go do your diligence.
There we go. That's
better. That's what I meant. Come on,
I can get on board with that. I can get on board with that.
Vicky, I wanted to ask you. I've been hoping to get him, but you three have been having such a good chat. I've been quite happy just sitting here. You obviously wanted to do a topic about Erik ten Hag.
We did it.
Did you have any questions particularly that you wanted to throw in, or do you feel like the three of you have sort of covered where you were going to go?
I think we could have covered it. Though we never get to mention he's an Aquarian, just like me, and a centre back. God, I would.
Are you taking the places?
Just like your YouTube husband, sweetheart, Aquarian.
You're an Aquarius. You would know. All the best people in football are Aquarius.
And centre halves.
I feel very left out.
Centre halves. Yeah, I knew he was going to say
I'm
that.
Aquarian, yeah. Well, me and Vicar, our birthdays are like 3 days apart.
Nice.
Okay, so you're both Aquarius. What are you, Bainesy?
I'm a Scorpio. I should have said you guess, but I'm a
Scorpio.
Actually, I don't know, because didn't NASA change this? NASA changed this, didn't they?
Supposedly, me and Vic are Cancers, but
right.
We're Capricorns, but we're not having that. We're Aquarians. And
I've always been Scorpio, so yeah.
Yeah, they did change it. They changed.
Are you telling me you just picked your star sign?
No, they changed.
What do you mean?
They changed the date.
No, so a few years ago they did another study, and they said the stars have actually as the Earth's rotated and spun, the stars have also shifted. So if you thought you were something, you're not. You're something else.
So me and Vic would have been Capricorns. We weren't having.
Barry can't believe it.
We weren't having us. So
no, a lot of people did.
Just when I thought the world couldn't get any weirder, even star signs have changed. Like there's 12 of them, and they had dates, and even that's changed.
Yeah, I think they've shifted it like 20 odd days.
They did.
So
Right.
you've got to move
And are
forward.
we allowed to call them star signs, or do we have to call them something else?
I don't
There's
know.
probably
I don't
another word
know.
for
Don't
it.
want to offend them. Don't want to
They're
offend
forever
anyone.
changing, aren't they?
Oh, that's a good one. What are you in the Chinese ones? I think I'm a dog.
Oh,
Jesus.
we were doing this yesterday
Needs
at
a
Cub.
Google.
Yeah, you know this, Vic.
We were doing. Oh no, don't, because I don't want to admit mine, because I don't like it.
Well, I'm the same. What is it?
No, you're not, because you're in a different year.
Oh,
'Cause
yes, of
the-
course, it's Chinese. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to look up your year. I'm a year of the rat.
So I'm I am year of the dog.
I don't know what I am.
No,
I don't know why I have.
Oh, I'm a goat.
You're a goat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a goat. I love that. I'll take that. Don't like goats.
No, your birth year.
I mean, I'm not. Oh, yeah. Well, that's about
No.
right. Actually. I'm a metal dog. It says
Nice.
it. The Chinese
Nice.
metal dog. Well, of course I
It'd
am.
be good to see what we got in the comments as well. Actually, to be
What you
fair.
get? Metal dog, sweet. Metal dog. Rawr.
Oh, there you go. That's quite a thing.
I'm not sure how we've got from Dan Ashworth to
No.
Eric Ten
How
Hag
did we do
to
that?
Metal Dogs.
Oh,
So I
Vicky's
said
ready
that-
as an aquarium.
1 minute you're happy and then boom, off somewhere different.
An aquarium
I'll tell you what, all I
centre.
can say is Mystic Meg must be just rolling in her grave at the moment at this idea that everything's changed.
Yeah.
That's
It
probably
was
what
quite
made it
controversial.
do it.
It was
Mystic
very,
Meg.
very controversial. I remember reading about it, and a lot of people were very upset.
Well, I was when I read about it because I'm not into that type of thing anyway. But I'm an aquarian, and that is it.
That's
We're
it.
nice. We're nice, humble people, aren't we, Vic?
Yeah.
Very mild mannered. Never
Someone
shout.
if someone says, "Am I a rat?" I'm not a rat. I'm just that's my damn thing. Yeah.
You're not a rat.
So your year of the rat, yeah. And NT has said Bainesy, goats are cool. They're very
Yeah.
mischievous and funny.
Oh yeah, I think I'm mischievous and funny as well. So yeah, I'll take that.
I'd
I'll
agree
take
with
that.
you on that one. Absolutely. So there we go. Well, wow, that has there's two things that have blown my mind now that Bainesy has said, and they say that all things come in threes. So let's see how he does this. We're going to finish with Stu's topic. So that means I'm going to throw my one out there. And I was going to go for an all-time one on this one, but I thought I'll limit it because then we've got scope to do a different one. And this one is very simple. I want you to come up with your five-a-side team of Manchester United players only from the Premier League era. So 1992 onwards. Bainesy, I did text it to you, mate. I'm not having this as if we're all sitting.
Did you? Did you actually?
Of course I did. I told you. Checked it. All the,
completely.
Isn't it?
You
So
know what it was?
he got asked in advance.
you all
He got
did.
told in.
I
Did
sent
I?
every one of you a text.
Yeah,
on
I-
WhatsApp.
you
Oh
were probably-
shit! You did. You
think
did
you
text
were
me,
ahead.
but the
You
problem
were ahead,
was I
Because
saw
I sat
Stu's
here.
bag and started laughing.
I was having I was having a margarita. This doesn't
Correct.
fair.
But I sat here and I thought to myself, do I really want to just Arsenal to pick a five-a-side team out of nowhere? So I was very kind and I sent it out there with the link. So
Okay,
this will
five
change.
aside.
Wait.
Five
Are
aside,
we-
yeah.
Exactly.
Okay,
So
right.
it's up to you what your formation is. Obviously, you've got to have a goalkeeper. It's up to you where you put your other four players.
Wait, are we? Hang on a minute. Are we doing the best players, or are we going?
Well, you got
Yeah,
to
your
needs to be
top
the best
your
team.
five
Needs to
The
be the
aside
most
best-
that you think
shittest.
would win.
Oh, okay.
needs to be the best
Yeah,
team,
all right.
doesn't it?
Oh god, this is tough. You know.
Consider yourself lucky. I was going to ask you to do a five-a-side team just out of the current players.
Well,
Right, I've done mine. Five, yeah.
I'm in.
Bosh, go on then, Vicky. Look at that. It's
Because
nailed it straight in.
Yeah, I was like, do you know what? No midfielders because Rooney can go and do it. So no, can't have him. Oh no, okay, yeah, fine. Keane, right? Because I just want him to like nut someone. Rooney, so he can do that as well. Vidic, so he can do that as well. Rios for the banter and Van der Sar, right? But yeah, that's it. It's like I've got like a really hardcore team, but
I was
you
just
know,
going to say that is
Oh,
No messing team there.
Because I did put Rude Van Nistelrooy, but I went, no, let's just go for carnage. Let's just go for meanness.
Fair play. Well, do you know what? I'm struggling to argue with that. Yeah, can let Bainesy and Stu go, because believe it or not, even
This
though
is really hard, by the way.
I didn't like
This is
mine
really
out.
hard. I don't like this question.
I'm done. I can give you mine.
Go on, Steve.
Off you go then, Stu.
Well, the greatest Dane ever between the posts, Schmeichel,
Michael.
because it filled them, and he's got a brilliant five-a-side bowl out. Brilliant bowl out. Only one defender for me, and that, bless you, sweetie. Only one defender for me, and that is Bruce, because you don't need to be quick. You don't need anything in five-a-side. Just use your brain. Middle two, I've got of Keane and Giggs, because I want a left footer in there to play alongside Keane. And then my top was a bit of a choice between Cantona and Rude, but Rude gets it because I think he's a better finisher than Cantona. So that's my five.
Interesting.
Oh, just,
Well,
You're almost
I'm
impressed.
sure
You're
of
almost
mine.
impressed with that, aren't you, Baz? You're not quite, but
very
you're almost impressed.
Both of them have impressed me. 'Cause what I liked most
Vicky's
about
is good.
it,
I like
really sat
Vicky's.
there and thought about. I just want to. And when you think about it, five-a-side, that's what
Oh,
they
you
need to
got
do.
it.
They need to be strong and they need to boss it.
Brains. Yeah.
So actually, to use that really good. But then I also like your one because you thought again about the tactics of a five-a-side. I know who four of mine is. I would have gone for Schmeichel as well. I would have gone for Keane as well. But I wasn't so fussed about the left footer. I went with Scholes on that one because I feel like he could just wander around anywhere and do what he needs to do.
Well, but if
And
you put a left pegger alongside Scholes,
Sorry?
if you put a left pegger alongside Scholes, you've got the perfect balance.
Well, yeah, I mean, we could do that, but I'm not going to. And Cantona would be up front is what I'm going to go for just because you went for Rude. I was going to go Rude.
I get
actually,
Cantona. Yeah,
I think he's also got. My worry with Rude is that Rude was just really good at being in the right place at the right time. So he might be good for the rebound.
Brilliant.
But would he be all right if he had to beat a defender on his own? I don't know. And then I'm stuck for my defender because part of me wants to go Vidic, part of me wants to go Bruce. I definitely don't want to go Rio. I don't think in the
what
end.
about Jap Stan?
Oh,
Wait, why not Rio? Hold on a minute.
Well done, Vix. Brilliant. So
Wow,
Michael, Stam, Scholes, Keane, Cantona. Lovely.
That's
Nice
good.
one,
It's
yeah.
not as good as mine, but it's good.
I think I just elevated your team, Bazza.
Love it.
You
Great
have
work.
elevated it, but you haven't elevated it to the top yet. It's
Not
good.
even funny.
Right,
I
okay.
haven't elevated
My
it for many
team-
years.
my-
That's good.
My team turns up. Most of yours are just like going, I'm not playing that. That's got my leg broken. And you just
I was just
walk
going to say,
away.
your team turns up, we're all dead.
Your team kicks the
Um,
shit out of everyone, yeah.
Ainsley, the world's been waiting, mate. Where are you
Well,
going, mate?
Ainsley,
Yes.
I can't believe it.
Right, so I've gone. My theory of this is I've gone for technical players that can play anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So I've actually gone David De Gea in goal. The only reason why is because yes, he's a good cat in goal anyway, right? But I think he's actually semi-decent with his feet. Now, that's controversial, I know. But he's semi-decent with his feet. And I think he's better with his feet than Schmeichel and Van der Sar. So that's why I've put him in.
Can I throw a wrinkle in that one?
Go on.
You can't use your feet in five-a-side.
No. No. I mean, as in... Oh, no, you can't, can you?
No. He's got to roll
I'm
out.
still going David De Gea because he's got a good throw anyway. I'm still going
He's
David
not
De Gea.
Schmeichel-esque, though, is he?
Then-
He's not Schmeichel.
Oh, where's it? What the Van der Sar, though? Van der Sar.
No, to be fair, I did have Van der Sar first. Then I was thinking, actually, no, I think that De Gea. But then, controversially to Barry, he wouldn't have Rio, and I've put Rio.
Yeah.
So the reason why I've put Rio is because he can play with both feet, and I'm playing just one defender who can sort of sit back and just dictate, and I think he can do it with both feet.
So if I,
Then
can I just make one point?
Go on.
Maisie? And I genuinely mean this. There's no wrong choice for a defender. There's no
No,
wrong
I don't
choice.
think there is. That's why I was
Doesn't matter
getting a
who you
bit.
go what. There's no wrong choice because
I disagree. I reckon if we picked William Prunier in that position,
Well,
we
all
would
right.
have what we get.
but are the ones that we would cherry pick. You know, your Stam, your Vidic, You know,
I don't think you're wrong.
You could
Yeah,
take
can't
Phil
go really
Jones, but you wouldn't be able to play in matches ever because he'd be injured.
You wouldn't pick Jones. I don't think there's a wrong defender, in my very humble opinion.
You're right. You're right. Out the top defenders we've had, I don't think you can go
That's
wrong
because
with any
Vicky
of them.
pinched Vidic before, out of everybody. I mean, she pinched him. I mean, there was no.
I think we had this discussion about Rio and Vidic, though, didn't we? We did have.
I lost that. Just so you all know, I lost that miserably. If it was a boxing match, I'd have had a big black eye.
I couldn't do that.
You give me one of those, didn't you, sweet?
Outrageous.
For midfield, I've gone with two.
Made you sleep on the sofa. Go on, sir.
Yeah, go on. Sorry. And then I've gone with Scholes, because every single interview you do with any ex-United player, they always talk about how they used to play 5 and 7-a-sides, and they said whoever was on Scholes' team used to win. Yeah. So I'm going to go in with Scholes. And for the sheer hard work, I've gone Bruno. Left foot, right foot.
Interesting.
And then,
by the way, that's interesting that nobody picked a current player.
Yes,
right? Bruno.
That's interesting.
That's what I said before. Then
I thought you might have gone for the peach.
Work rate. So that's me. And then
who's your striker?
Front, see, no one's gone for him either. Cristiano Ronaldo.
You can't.
No, I didn't.
By the side.
Yeah.
Of course you can.
You don't let you have the whole
specifically 07-08 Ronaldo, where he used to just
you can only pick
anything turn to gold. No, I've gone with Ronaldo simply because again, left foot, right foot.
Do you know what I think? I think there's 4 really good teams there, and it'd be massively interesting to see who runs away with the title on that one. I think my team's got the best balance. I think Vicky's team would cane everybody. They just kill everyone. Be interesting to see what people think in the comments on that, Baz.
Well, I was just going to say we do have some teams. So NT has gone for De Gea in goal with Rio. So he went with Rio Bainsy. He's also gone Scholes, Rooney and Van Nistelrooy. So
I would. Yeah, Rooney can play literally anywhere, couldn't he? He could play in goal, defend, whatever.
That's not a bad team, actually. It's not as good as mine, but it's a good effort.
Columbus cloning Ronaldo 5 times and then playing him in goal, which I'm not so sure of. Simon's got involved. He's going with Keane, De Gea, Rude up front, Scholes, and Cantona.
Also a very good team.
A very good team, Simon, but again, not as good as mine, but a decent effort.
NT saying
someone's had too much coffee.
Shut up.
Interesting. So NT was saving his feet rather than kicking, which is an interesting one. So yeah, and Jarvis, where are you? There we are. He's gone for his Scandinavian 5-a-side, which is Schmeichel, Johnson, Eriksson, and
Zlatan. Oh
wow!
What about Andy Cole?
What would you do then if you were given carte blanche of a Manchester United 5-a-side team? Then
what if you have the choice over anyone in history?
Anyone who's ever
donned
the red. It's nigh on impossible, isn't it?
Well, it doesn't change my goalkeeper.
It's too many to choose from.
There is. A goalkeeper probably doesn't change for me. Schmeichel.
Taibi.
My goalkeeper will be the same. I'll still go Schmeichel.
Look,
I would change my defender.
Wait a minute. Can we hurry up? Because somebody's done a really good team. I can't stop looking at it.
Is it Onana, Maguire,
Onana, Maguire, Herrera, McTominay, Dan James.
I'll tell you what, Dan James.
It's not a bad team. I know.
Dan James is a wicked 5-a-side player. Herrera as well. Maguire, Slabhead. Why not? Onana's good. Yeah. Well.
Honestly, that's not a bad team. I know we laugh him, but it generally is not a bad team. I think anyway, I think you put any Premier League team in a 5-a-side.
Why didn't you choose the peach, sweetheart?
Pardon?
Why didn't you choose the peach?
Because Vidic overtakes Varane.
And once he's pushed up the boards, Varane had hurt, wouldn't he? it bruise.
Well, with everybody else there, I think he would be well protected. But
That's true. Yeah, with your side, yeah.
oh,
That's quite an interesting topic, that, Buzz. It's good
Well, I
fun.
think, like I say, we will probably next time I'm on the show, we will do potentially an all-time five or
I think
side.
that'd be impossible. I wouldn't know it. I
I
wouldn't know
don't
it.
think
All time.
we'd find one. Be interesting. A
I
lot more
can do
choice.
that.
Would you?
So, but there we go.
Have you got yours?
Right,
already?
over to you then, Stu. What have you got, sir?
So look, I was just doing something a little bit of fun. I did something about 2 years ago on the channel. What I put in my football bag, just for a bit of fun, just for a laugh, just for a topic, and I just wondered what everybody else. Is he? You're going to go on. I wonder what everybody else put in their football bag. Are you going to go on, Vic?
Muted.
He did ask because I said half past, and then he says how long, and then I just said 5 minutes. So I can listen to this.
My football bag will be all right. But so I decided I would tell everybody what I put in my football bag. Some of you find it interesting, some of you find it quite boring. But in my bag it goes. I have a bag which has a bottom compartment as my football boots. So I take 4 pairs of football boots.
Why?
Well, I'm about to explain. So I have 2 pairs. So I have 2 pairs of moldies and 2 pairs of screw-ins.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
And,
Right. Okay.
and I have, I wear, you're going to laugh at this. I mean, Vic will just shake her head now. But I wear 2 pairs of 2 pairs of socks with 1 set of boots and a single pair of socks with another set of boots. So I have 2 separate pairs of shin pads, 1 for the single sock and 1 for the double sock. Okay. So my boots of choice are Copa Mundials and World Cups. So I have 2 pairs of each. And I have, as I say, so the one set where I wear with 2 pairs of socks, I have shin pads that include ankle support. And where I wear a single pair of socks, I have the new shin pads that have got like a sock over them. So the reason I wear a single pair of socks when I wear those shin pads is I don't get calf issues, because you get calf issues.
Okay.
And cramp.
Yeah.
So I have those. I also have 2 towels. I have 1 towel for showering and 1 towel after I put my boots through the shower to dry them off. Obviously have crikey, 6 pairs of football socks, which I take.
Okay. Yeah.
I take 6 pairs of football socks just to be sure, just in case I find them comfortable. I take 2 pairs of shreddies. One particular pair I wear all the time, which are my 06 Budweiser Y-fronts. I wear those. They're my match-worn pants. I wear those all the time. But
It's really bad that I knew that one before you.
Yes, don't tell everyone you knew that one, sweetheart. And I also have another pair of shreddies that I do take just in case. Take tape.
I'm gonna have to.
I was going to say, where's the tape?
Yes,
Anyway,
go on. You got to go, sweetheart.
Finish the tape bit.
I take tape. I take bandages. I have 3 isotonic drinks. I have a protein shake. I also put in there.
How fucking big is this bag?
It's quite a large one. It's got my number on it as well. It's Ace. It's got my number on it. And I also put in some energy tablets as well. So that's basically what I put in my football bag. And
sounds better. You've got more in there than my gym bag, and I didn't think that was possible.
Well, you have to take. I mean, you've got to take moldies. You've got to take screw-ins. But depending on where you're playing, sometimes you're playing on 4G, for example, you want single pair of socks, so you wear the 1 pair of pads. If you're playing on grass, it's a bit boggy. You need 2 pairs of socks for extra comfort, so you wear different pads on that one. You do that because your studs get caught a lot, and you tend to get ankle damage. So hence, Bainsy, when I did my ankle, I was playing at. In fact, I was playing at Worcester Warriors 6-way Stadium. And
nice. Okay.
I was wearing single pads but no ankle support, so that's why I do what I do. But I also take knee support as well, just in case my knee hurts. So there you go. That's what I put in my football. Vic is about to fall asleep now, bless her.
Thank you very much for having me today, but I gotta
Thank you, John.
go.
Cheers.
Nice to chat.
Yeah.
Nice to
See you
chat.
later.
Take care.
Next week, that top 11, right? I take it that's Barry's topic, or whenever.
Well, next week might be a bit different because we've got a Saturday game. So I think next
Yeah.
week's going to be the preview for the Saturday game. But certainly in a couple of weeks' time, we'll be back. So yeah, top 11.
And then we got the Forest game. No, that's a Wednesday. Never. Don't listen to me today. I've had about 3 cocktails, plenty of water, by the way. I was like, no, I gotta be good. And they were like, here's a gin and tonic on the train. I was like, no, I can't. But I
Listen,
drank
for
it.
someone that was taken hostage, you've done bloody brilliantly. So well done.
Superb. See you later.
Well, it was
darling.
my 40th, so thank you.
No
Right, love you
worries.
guys.
Yeah.
See you
Bye.
later on. See you later on. See you later on.
So Bainesy, what's in your football bag, son?
A pair of boots, socks, and an energy drink.
Well, is that it?
Yep, that's all I need.
Wow.
Interesting.
I don't take towels. Don't take towels. Nothing. Just get in the car, off and go home. Shower up at home. That's it. Generally, that is it. Oh, sorry. And I got like a little money bag thing, like a little, because I collect all the money.
When I go on a
pictures or whatever.
when I go on a Sunday and a Wednesday to 5-a-side, then I just take myself. Absolutely, I just love myself.
I've never needed to take anything else because I just quickly wear it.
Well, I probably, Bainesy, you probably don't know. So I came out of retirement. I'm back playing 11-a-side for Tipton Town, the mighty Tipton Town.
Really?
Yeah, the mighty Tipton Town. So we play over 50s super vets. It's absolutely amazing. So we play in the Worcester Premier League, and we're regularly playing against ex-pros. So we played Dean Holdsworth a couple of weeks ago.
Oh my God, are they still got a bit, or what are they like?
Well, he's out of this world, Holdsworth. I mean,
Is he?
Yeah, he's
His
quite.
brain, I suppose his brain is quicker than everyone else's. I suppose, right?
So the ball comes into him, and I'm fucking elbowing him as you do. You know, come on,
Yeah,
Aldous. I call him Aldous. You know, all that and that type of thing. And he's like chugs me off, fucking left foot top corner. See you, mate. And he strolls off. I'm thinking, you twat. And I'm looking like literally twat and all this. He comes up after, he said, you like that, do you? You bastard, fuck off. Some of the teams have got some ex-Blues in, like Mike Taylor, a couple of the ex-Coventry players, John Williams, that type of thing. I think one of the teams we've got to play has got Stillian Petrov in it.
Oh, wow.
So, but no, it's absolutely, it's so much fun, honestly.
Yeah, I was going to say, because everyone's sort of on that, you don't want to hurt, you don't hurt each other, you know, obviously you get stuck in, but no one's there to hurt each other, you know, you've all got jobs to go to the next day, blah, blah, blah.
It's proper football, though, because we're used to playing the old style, the old way.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of pinching, a lot of pulling, a lot of fucking elbowing, a lot of punching and stuff like that. And it's absolutely, to be fair, I know I was never that good. West Midlands Premier League was the highest I got, but I'm still playing. I'm 54 now, and I'm still going.
You would have made yourself sound really good then. Yeah, I played in the Premier League before.
No, you could have got away with it.
No,
West Midlands Premier League.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, Baines, I mean, we played at Sixway Stadium. We played twice this season there. And that holds, 12, 13, 14,000 people?
Yeah.
Obviously, they didn't come, all 14,000. They managed to get only about 10.
Yeah, if people found out that Stu was going, they would have sold out the place, no?
The fucking peacock, absolutely. But I've been sin-binned, a few times this season. Got yellow carded last week.
A blue card?
Well, it wasn't blue. He gave me a.
If it's a yellow, you get a sin bin, don't you? Is it still 10 minutes? I think it's still 10 minutes, isn't it?
Fucking, it was ages. It felt like ages. Yeah.
Bloody
but
hell.
The thing is, like, you're right. Nobody hurts each other because we want to play football still, and that's the whole idea.
Yeah.
We want to play football, but
you do it for the love of the game, aren't you?
It can get rough. It really can get rough, and
but that's good though. You want it to get a bit. You want it to get a bit argy bargy. It's nice, isn't it? It gets you going, makes you feel alive.
We were playing Worcester Warriors a few weeks ago, and I was marking their centre forward. He was a bit taller than me, Although I'm not going to be able to get over him, to get a header in, because I can't leave her up on him. So I decided I'd grab him around the throat and pull him down, and then get. And he's like doing this, and the referee's like blowing up, and he's laughing at the ref's laughing at us because he knows. Because that's what we used to do. He's laughing at me. He's going, you can't get away with that, don't you? I said, yeah, but he's bigger than me. What do you want me to do? I'm going ref. Sorry,
exactly.
I'll cut my camera off. And so we, but you can talk to the referee as well to kind of an extent. Not all the time.
Referees are like that, aren't they? Like, they know every bit about. They can have a bit of banter off your field. Some of the referees are too by the book nowadays, and it's a bit like you can't really banter off them.
They won't put young refs, with us because young ref won't be able to cope with us because we're constantly chirping.
Yeah.
I mean, my favourite one is I'll commit a foul and then ref, what the hell's going on here? That type of thing, and I give the ref a bit of shit when I'm warming up as well.
What's your level? Where have you been playing your football?
Oh no, I don't. To be honest, ever since I've moved house. I've stopped playing. I played a lot of 7-a-side, and I started playing 11-a-side against the Maidstone United boys. So we actually got friendly with one of their coaches, and they were like, "Look, come pre-season, and just jump in a few games of 11 with us, 11s on down at their ground. Actually, it's only down the road from us." So that's really the level I got to, but it was nothing too super serious. I did a few seasons 11-a-sides, but nothing serious. I've completely stopped now. I did my ankle in, I broke my finger, broke 2 fingers, broke my thumb, did me an ankle in, and after that it was like
busted my thumb.
Yeah. After that, I then moved house. So I had just other shit going on. I do want to get involved again though. All my mates are saying, "Look, come on, get involved" and all that. But
you should, because you're a long time dead, mate. Is what I've realised. So I play on a weekend now, and I play on a Wednesday and a Sunday evening. So I play 5-a-side on a Sunday. I did a couple of weeks ago. I did something which I shouldn't have done. I played futsal 6 till 7, and then 5.
Oh, that's great! Yeah.
I'd never done futsal before. First time. No, I played 5-a-side 8 till 9, and I was flagging in game 2. It's a bit soft, really. But I must admit, I can't. It's too much of a drug for me. I pack my footy bag. If we play on a Saturday afternoon, I pack it on a Friday night at 7 o'clock. Tradition. It's tradition. It's really.
And if you don't do it the night before, you'll have a shit game the next day.
Yeah.
Just imagine
You
can just imagine it. It's almost ticking to 7. One of Stu's kids, "Oh, Dad, can we just have a quick chat?" "Not right now, sweetheart. Got to go footy bag at 7 o'clock." Give it 10 minutes.
I got to put my 9 towels and my 19 football boots in my bag.
But Dad, I'm bleeding. You'll be fine.
Yeah,
you'll be
fine. It's
fine.
only 10 minutes.
Just put your hand over it and you'll be fine. Yeah.
No, somebody stood on my ankle 5 times. It's only me fucking whinging about it, do you?
Yeah, it's half an hour.
I haven't played for years. Like since before COVID was like probably my last. Not quite true. I did do a sort of a charity game last season, which was quite a moment. But my football bag, I've actually got it. So, as you were asking the question, I've got it here.
You've gone and got it, haven't you?
I've got a show and tell.
Oh, bloody hell, I didn't do that.
Yeah, genuinely. It's huge.
Yes, that's what I've got. Yeah, I've got one of those, yeah.
And nowadays, my football bag contains the following. Bring the club video. You need that because that's how the game gets recorded. Obviously, I've got the trusty clipboard. Very important. Full of all of the team sheets that we're going to need for writing the ladies' names down.
Super.
Obviously, tripod. Can't do interviews without a tripod. It's all shaky and terrible.
Correct.
I need one of those. Power bank. Need a power bank.
Need a power bank.
Always need one of them.
Can't be running out of power. I've then got my England FA notebook, which has got all of my interview notes and things like that in there.
Nice.
I know, right? Another one with the Stevenage girls in, by the way, which explains...
redundancy. That's what I did with Boots. Redundancy.
All the players, all their stats, all that sort of stuff. A plethora of notebooks, a ridiculous amount. Another one there, all the stats, pencils. And then for some strange reason, even though we've got like our own like medical bag, I still carry around a little one that's got the old cold pack just in case.
That's how you do it. I did forget to say, obviously I didn't want to go too much, but I had both freeze spray and heat spray, 2 cans, one of each, and gel and DPs, one of each.
Good thinking. Been it cold lately, hasn't it? So there's the snood, of course.
Why haven't you got that built into your top?
And the gloves, it does.
Oh,
Yeah, it's lovely.
I tell you what, Baines, the amateur here. Haven't you got a top that's got a snood built in?
No, I don't. I just wear a top.
And of course,
If I'm
the
cold,
Man
I just run.
No, you do. I have if we're playing outside and it's like freezing, then I've got this training top that I use quite regularly. It's a bit like it, but it's got a snood built in, and
nice.
it's like got a bit of a hood. It's quite cool. It's quite cool. But show Bainesy your bag then, and if you look at the very bottom part, that's where the boots are kept.
Oh, the boots. Yeah, it's
Yes,
got a zip around.
that's why mine's empty.
That's where the boots are kept. So I do that, but yeah, I got dragged out of retirement last October, and some of the lads were saying that we just come and play, and I love it, Bainesy. My lad says, "Are you playing walking football, Dad?" You know, that's
walking football.
Yeah,
because
he says your pace is like.
Oh, that is disrespectful. That
is completely just. I think I'm going at a rate of knots. Right?
Yeah.
Jake says, "Fucking hell, Dad, are you walking?" And I absolutely pelted it. You know, my arms are fucking going like this, fucking heads down, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm like fucking.
Your arms moving faster than your legs.
Fred Flintstone, you know, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just doing that. Right. So, but I absolutely love it. But we play, and we played England over 55s in October. We beat them 4-2. So that's nice. That's a semi-pro. England over
semi-pro. Yeah.
So also in the league, if they weren't ex-pro, you still got semi-pro players, and then you've got England. The oldest player that plays in our division, he plays for England over 60s, and he's a left back, and he's fucking top draw.
Really?
He's amazing. Top draw plays. Left foot is sweet as a.
It just makes you think, though, doesn't it? How good that level is.
It's a world apart. It is a world apart.
Who did we play in the FA Cup? Just gone. Notts County. We just played Notts County. He was in a podcast the other day. I was scrolling through TikTok and I saw it, and he was talking about the level between Notts County and United, right? And he was saying one of the things that happened to him, during the game, a ball got knocked over to Delow, and it was sort of chest height, right? And I think he was a striker at the time. He actually scored in that game, striker at the time. And he went, "Yeah, you ain't controlling this." And he's running full pelt at him. And all of a sudden, all Delow's done is he's just jumped and just sort of Cruyff turned and flicked it back to Onana.
Yeah.
And at that point, it kind of humbled him. He said, I'm good at football. He said, "I'm good at football. I know I'm good at football." But what he just did there shows you the level between League One, 2, Championship, and then the Premier League. It's just the Premier League is just over there, while everyone else is sort of very good, very, very, very good footballers. And it's just
incredibly interesting. I mean, I love seeing the way that people make their decisions and just the way games unfold on the pitch more than anything else. I mean, I've told this story, Stu's had it before, but the first game that I went into was teachers, basically. It was a bit like the Soccer Aid idea, but we did like the north of England against the south of England teachers. We went flying in there, and they had a semi-professional who looked like Tyson Fury and was about 8 foot tall. I mean, most people are 8 foot tall to me, but this guy was proper 8 foot tall. And he was on my side. I was right back, and I just thought, well, I'm just going to have to go all Keno on him and just do what they've always said. So he comes running down the left wing, and literally I just went straight through him. He's laughing as he gets up. He goes, "Oh, I love that. Absolutely love that." They then spent the next 80 minutes just peppering the ball up over the top because they knew that I wasn't going to be winning any headers. And it is really interesting. I mean, I love it. Another game they asked me to go left back, and we ended up with this geezer. It must have been about 18, 19. He was the nippiest kid I've ever met in my life. I think I lasted about 5 minutes with him before I was like, no, I'm going to have asthma attack if I carry on with this geezer.
Switch wings.
Right. But it is just good just seeing how people make those decisions and how you move your teams around.
I had that, Baz, when I was, I don't know, 45, 46, something like that. I was playing right back and we were away. It was a beautiful hot summer's day. It was absolutely a beautiful day. It really was. The pitch was dry. The ball was bouncy. So you had to wear moldies. You were tired because of the sweat. And I've never been particularly fast, as it happens, as a player, but they put me out at right back and I got this fucking wiry little 18-year-old coming at me. We were about 20 minutes into the game, something like that, and he does these step overs and leaves me for dead. Absolutely leaves me for dead. Crosses the ball in, they score. He comes back, try and keep up next time, Grandad. And I thought, you little bastard. He's right, because I got nowhere near him. So I had to wait a good 20 minutes for him to come to me again. I was just waiting for that, because he's quite a
that one moment.
Yeah, that one moment. I just needed him to roll his studs over the ball, when he's trying to do his step overs and I'll be at him. And I need it. And I got that little bit of luck and I went through him like a fucking... I hit him really, really hard. His mates were giving me jip as well. You know what it's like, don't you?
Yeah.
But I hit him that fucking hard. I mean, I won the ball. I hit him that fucking hard. The ball ricocheted, spun off, and it is this bird right smack in the face. I mean, it was like a 2-for-1 special, if you know what I mean. And I got up because I was fine, and he's there crying like a little girl. And I tapped him on the shoulder. I said, "Grandad, my arse, see ya." And I just wandered off, and I didn't see him for the rest of the game. But I just needed. He rolled his back 2 studs on the top of the ball, and that's all I needed, and it gave me that yard, that 2 yards. But I've had it. You've got to deal with it. You either deal with it or you don't, because if you don't, I mean, he would have just destroyed me. Baines. I'd have been off. I'd have been to the gaffer.
All game. It would have been all game.
I'm not going back on. And the gaffer would have been bollocking me. Why? Because I'm not going to look like an idiot. And you can't do that. So when we take the pitch we either play on a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday afternoon, depending on. And when you take that pitch again on a Saturday afternoon again, we play some stadiums. Sometimes we're just playing on university pitches. It's brilliant. You're watching a load of old timers, warming up and then playing a game for 90 minutes. It's great, actually. Really, and we're all old. We're all old timers.
Yeah, but you've got that respect between each other, though, haven't you? Because it's like, look, you've done your hard yards, you've done all that time, and now you're playing for the love of the game. You still want to be competitive, which is absolutely fine. But
ironically, the times when I feel like the best footballer that I've ever been is currently whilst I'm at school. And granted, the kids that I'm playing against, they are 10, 11, and we go and join in. And obviously, you can't literally play football with them. You just have to sort of wander about. But what I love about it is that they don't pick me up. They're not interested. They're just like, it's just Mr. Rusty's 41. He's not going to do anything. Exactly. So I just wander off to where I think the ball's going to go. And then, of course, eventually the ball comes to us. And that's when I dazzle them. On the goal I scored the other day, if I ever scored that in an actual game,
top's coming off.
It was unreal. Like literally, 3 of the kids came running up to me and went, "Oh my god, you're better than Ronaldo." I'm like, I wish I was. It was the only kick I had in the entire game, but it was the winning goal.
That's all that matters, Baz. That's all that matters.
Yeah. You only need one chance, mate. You only need one.
You can still make it, boys.
Yeah, that's all we need. So anyway, that's
well. This is the Manchester United podcast, all for you guys, in case you were unsure over the last few minutes. But it's been a cracking show. Well, thanks again to Vicky, who obviously had to dip out a bit early, but thank you again to her. And, of course, my thanks to you two as well.
Pleasure.
For your excellent topics and conversation. My thanks to everybody in the comments, because you've all been superb as ever, getting involved with everything we're talking about. Get thinking, everyone, about what your best ever five-a-side would be through the entirety of Man United history?
Tough one.
Give you that
That's
one now.
tough.
So you guys know in advance what you might want to think about. I have a feeling Bainesy might be busy on that Sunday.
Yeah.
I will find out. We'll be back on Saturday, previewing the Luton Town game, and obviously on Sunday we'll be back again in order to review what's just happened. And of course, if you're not really that busy during the day on Saturday, 12:30 on Sky Sports, get it onto the women's. It will be Man United women against Arsenal women, a huge game.
Oh, that's a massive game.
The WCL. So
Return of Russo, is it?
one club, one love. Say that again.
The return of Russo, I presume.
Yes, indeed. Russo loves scoring at the Emirates, but not so much while she's in an Arsenal shirt. So we shall see.
No, she's not been scoring, has she?
No.
Not done
Not
very
as
well.
much. But she did score against London City Lionesses in the last game. So
Well, there you go. Fair credit to her then. But there's a bit of an issue, isn't there, I think, with some of the Lionesses, Marriott's being one of them at this point in time. I never thought we'd ever get to say it, Baz, but they're starting to believe their own press. They need to come back down to understand where they were. I'm not being disrespectful. It happens in all levels. We're seeing it with a lot of male players, but some of them, because Earps has been awful, hasn't she, this season?
she's had some bad moments as old Mary, but who knows? Maybe she's just proud. Proud Mary.
She wants off there, doesn't she?
We shall see. We'll see where she goes. But yes, come over to WFC.
Anyway, yeah.
We'll be back for them. But of course, we love it over here as well. It's one club at the end of the day, and that is Manchester United, the greatest football club on the planet. Thanks for your time. We'll see you on Saturday. Night all.
Cheers.